What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. We're about to get into another reaction video. This one titled Why Drake Just Canceled His Iceman album and Young Thug Exposes Him So Bad. I don't know how true this is of him canceling his album, bro. This is, you know what I'm saying? This might be a little clickbait title, but I ain't gonna lie. Like, y'all been hearing like the snippets of the Iceman album? There's maybe like only 2 songs in that junk that I messed with so far. Only 2. He previewed a lot of songs on that junk. I only messed with 2. So I don't think this album gonna be good, bruh. I ain't gonna lie. I don't think this album gonna be good. But make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you're new, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when I post new content on the channel. Let's get into the video, man.
Now, when it comes to Drake, well, now, if you're ready to see how after the reaction to Iceman Episode 3, Ice Spice Man's White Man album has been canceled and it will not be dropping for a very long time, and well, now making everything even worse with more Young Thug phone calls that have just come out, he just exposed Drake, called him stupid, and revealed information that is gonna make everybody hate him forever. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and now, as Drake has just been rejected by literally everyone, and he has been forced to have no other choice but to run away from every single thing. Well, listen, things are really getting bad for Ice Spice.
Why you look at my man just sleeping on the bench like that, bro? Let my man sleep, bro. You know what I'm saying? Let my man, he probably stuck at the airport. You know what I'm saying? Can't afford to get a hotel, bro. So he's just chilling,
no
bro.
other choice but to run away from every single.
What he do that for, gang? You know what I'm saying? What he do that for, bruh? I remember I was stuck in Puerto Rico, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Spirit had a whole protest going on, bruh. The employees walked out while we in line, gang. We in line waiting to get our ticket, you know what I'm saying? Or waiting to, like, you know what I'm saying, get our ticket stamped, however the procedure go, bruh. We in the line, bruh. All of a sudden, we see, you know what I'm saying, 2 Spirit employees walk over to the counter, you know what I'm saying? They walk into the counter. Shorty at the line, she at the front desk doing her little job, whatever. They whisper something to her. They go to the back. They disappear for hours. Nobody knows nothing, right? Nobody knows nothing. Nobody knows what's going on or nothing. All of a sudden, you hear somebody say, oh, they went on strike. What? Bro, we in Puerto Rico, gang. You know what I'm saying? They went on strike. Another airline went on strike. I think the only airline that wasn't on strike at the time was Southwest, I think. But bruh, you talking about being stuck at the airport, gang? Stuck. It was people had to sleep in the airport, bruh. Cause they had no more bread to get a hotel. No more bread, bruh. They out. You know what I'm saying? They out. Employees went on strike because of some pay for the pilots. The pilots went on strike too. Who gonna fly the plane? You ain't got no pilots. Who gonna take these tickets and these bags? You ain't got nobody at the register. You know what I'm saying? Terrible. You know what I'm saying? We stuck in that joint for hours, bruh. Eventually, we ended up coming home. We had to, you know what I'm saying, go to Southwest. You know what I'm saying? Southwest, they gave us a room and board voucher or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We was able to, you know what I'm saying, we was able to stay somewhere nice at the hotel. You know what I'm saying? Woody whoop. But bruh, also you had to lie. You had to tell a certain lie in order to even get that. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't just handing it out to everybody. You had to tell a lie. Like a very deep, dark lie. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, bruh. You know what I'm saying? My man probably stuck at the airport, bruh. Can't even afford to get a hotel. You know what I'm saying? He can't get a hotel, so he got to sleep at the airport on the bench, bruh. My man Drake looking at him like you know what I'm saying? Like he a bum or something, bruh. Come on, Drake. Tighten up, nigga. Tighten up.
Single thing. Well, listen, things are really getting bad for Ice Spice, man, so make sure to leave that like and subscribe because everyone needs to see how melted Iceman really is. As right now with Drake, well, really all due to the mistake and monstrosity that will go down as Iceman Episode 3. Drake has ended up in a place where now more than ever, he is ruined on both sides, plain and simple.
That
there
album was
is
so
no
fire.
other way around that.
Him and Future
Well, the
album
reason
was
why
so
this
fire,
is
bro.
because both with his new drops and with the info that has come out and showed more and more why he is not on top. Well, now beyond leaving fans in a place where they are done with his music and are realizing that he has never had less to offer, which we will get more into that and what this is really going to mean later, Drake has just been exposed and revealed 100% and fully now as just straight up human garbage and an awful person and really one of the worst types of friends that you could ever be, and no longer just by sources that people could try and dispute because of where they stood with Drake like Joe Budden or Kendrick Lamar. But no, you can't run away from this anymore because now the guy who Drake has stood up for and acted like they are best buddies no matter what has actually called him out in none other than Young Thug. And with Young Thug, now listen, while the guy has had his own terrible week himself and so much crazy stuff has been getting exposed and usually it has been making people go against him more and not support him, well, one common theme we can see within all of the Young Thug leaks is that one person who he has been nothing but loyal to and has said nothing bad on, at the very least, is Metro Boomin for now. And this is important because in a call where he was discussing all of the events that became the origin of the Kendrick versus Drake beef and the We Don't Trust You album with Metro and Future, we found out so much, and well, from the most neutral and even pro-Drake source we can have, you could say, Young Thug straight up said that for what Drake was saying and doing, well, he was flat out stupid for it, and this info is so damaging to Drake that when everybody really sees why he did this, it is going to be over for this loser more than ever, and it will have a massive domino effect in the industry if it already has not. So listen, I'm not going to play this one because the call is 27 minutes and there's a lot of filler that would not make for a compelling video, but I'm just going to give you the highlights and summarize it, which now in a call where Young Thug was being told about all of the album and song drama going on between Drake and Metro Boomin, and this seems to be like it was from 22 when Her Loss was about to come out, and then of course Metro dropped Heroes and Villains a few months later, and the song they were talking about specifically was Trance, which of course we did hear that lead Drake verse. Well, now after Young Thug was told that Drake was running and scrambling around and trying to get a beat or a song clearance from Metro Boomin last minute, which seemingly was Trance because Drake wanted to have Young Thug and Travis Scott on a song together on the album with him. Well, Young Thug was disgusted by what he was hearing, and honestly, when you hear Young Thug sound absolutely disgusted and taken aback by hearing Drake just act so cold and, well, he uses the word stupid directly, I mean, we find out everything we need to know about why all of this beef went down and why Drake really did make some of the worst mistakes in the history of hip-hop. And what really stood out here is when Young Thug called out Drake and said, "I don't know how anyone can speak to him about music right now. Your mama's gone. She ain't never coming back. He's not in the right headspace, and you're going to tell Drake, I don't like that I ain't clearing it." And with Young Thug saying, and I quote, "Drake's so stupid. Instead of giving some wisdom or something real, you about to say some crazy stuff on the phone and then come right back 2-3 weeks later and say, hey, let me get the song." Wow.
That's so messed up, bruh. That's so messed up. Low key, on the Joe Budden podcast, Joe Budden was like, Drake did do something like that. You know what I'm saying? So whoever he got that source from, that news from, it was right. You know what I'm saying? It was right. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it was to the extent that Joe Budden was like he was saying, because you know what I'm saying, he said Drake said so what or something like that. I don't think Drake would say so what. But nah, bruh. You know what I'm saying? The man mom just passed away, gang. You know what I'm saying? You trying to hurry up and get a clearance for a song, bruh, so you can, you know what I'm saying, so you can get your album out, whatever, bruh. Like, no, bruh. You know what I'm saying? And then he went to Young Thug and asked Young Thug, bro, Young Thug is fighting the case of his life right now. You know what I'm saying? He was in the middle of trying to get out of jail, bruh. He's fighting a life sentence, bruh. You talking to him about music. Metro Boomin just lost his mom, gang. The last thing on his mind right now is music. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to deal with the grief. He's trying to deal with funeral costs, family members, all this stuff, bro. Like he's dealing with all this stuff, and you come to him about music. They say Drake was a culture vulture, bro, but this is just out of hand, bro.
See that Young Thug says all of this and says he would be with Metro Boomin all of the time right now if he were able to be there and make sure that his friend was okay. Well, with this information, we know every single thing that we will ever need to and are seeing out in the open more than ever. Just with the way Drake and his lack of empathy is being talked about and really how insensitive.
And that's just some associate stuff. That just like something like that happens, you know for a fact that all right, this person really don't bang with me like that. Like he's not really my man's. Like I thought he was. Like he's not really my man's, bro. Like he instead of him calling and be like, hey bro, like you know what I'm saying, I know you dealing with this, bro. Let me give you some words of wisdom, gang. Let me put some game on you, bro. Let me, you know what I'm saying? Or don't even say nothing, bro. Just be there for him. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes when people going through grief like that, bro, they not trying to hear everything gonna be all right. Oh, you know what I'm saying? They in a better place now. They ain't trying to hear that, gang. You know what I'm saying? They just lost somebody close to them. You feel me? Of course, like, you may think it's nice to say, but they ain't trying to hear that, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just gotta be there for them. Like, you ain't gotta say nothing to them, gang. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just gotta let them just sit with it. Just be in that presence, bro. You know what I'm saying? When if they break down crying or whatever, just comfort them or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? If somebody lose a close homie like that, a close friend, a close family member, woody whoop. They ain't trying to hear no, my condolences, bro. I hope you get better. They ain't trying to hear no, sorry for your loss. They in a better place now. Don't worry about it. You'll be, everything will be all right. You'll be all right. They ain't trying to hear that, bruh. You know what I'm saying? So Metro Boomin definitely was like, nah, Drake is not my man's, bro. This dude Aubrey, he's not my man's, gang. You know what I'm saying? He's not my man's. So I 100% feel like that's how he felt, bro.
Sensitive he is to something like the loss of a mother. Well, at the very least, this is a moment where I think most of us can just look at Drake and see this situation and just say, you know what, this guy is not like us, because on a personal level, if you really do align with somebody who shows such a lack of empathy, support, care, and compassion for one of the worst things that could happen to somebody, listen, all I can say from the very least is you're the furthest person that I would ever want to be around. And with the guy who has held Drake down and who all of these rappers look to be the voice of reason, at least at a time, putting this all out there, this is really bad and embarrassing if you are Drake, because now we do know that what Joe Budden tried to tell us is all true, and well, he has been dissed and turned on by so many people, probably with a huge part in the fact that you cared more about a beat than somebody's own mother. And listen, with Young Thug just putting this out there as the 100% definitive truth that now we can all reference and see, this is bad, and I don't know how Drake is going to ever recover from this, because while Young Thug has created his own issues recently, which we need even more videos to look at and really discuss the magnitude of, well, for this entire group of people who hovered around him and Metro Boomin, and at the very least, we're all making music together at one point, with this information being out there, and well, now we know why you would not work with Drake and what it would mean if you cross the line and do. Drake is genuinely in a position now where he isn't just exposed for being a human piece of trash, but now no rappers are going to want to go anywhere near a studio with him forever now, unless you are that bad and lame of a clout chaser. But really now, for all of these guys who are friends with Metro, like Young Thug, Future, Travis Scott, I think that they are really going to continue to just hold down their place and at the very least try not to work with Drake, because Metro is more valuable to them and he is clearly a better and more important friend. And all of this now becomes a problem because, well, Drake is struggling to make any sort of decent music and is begging for help behind the scenes from anybody to get a slap.
Yeah, his music low-key hasn't really been the same, bro. I don't know what's going on. I used to be a huge Drake fan, bro. Huge Drake fan. When Views came out, bro, I thought every single song on Views was tough. When the UK song he dropped that got a passion fruit on it, bro, that is my album, gang. I love that album, bro. You know what I'm saying? He called it the playlist at the time, but I love that album, gang. But it's like After that, bro, I don't know what happened, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what happened, bro. He dropped that one album that sounded like he put like a bunch of old music on there that was from like 2009, 2010 onto the album, bro. Like some bunch of throwaways, bro. You know what I'm saying? I ain't hear the joint he made with Party Next Door. I ain't heard that one yet. Cause I kind of feel like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not really excited to hear Drake's music anymore, bro. And that's crazy coming from me because I used to love listening to Drake. I was all about Drake music, eh? You know what I'm saying? Whenever I be, you know what I'm saying, going through it with a girl or something, bro, I turn on some Drake, bro, and get my mind right. You feel me? Can't even do that no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy, you know? I'm blessed. I don't even have to do that right now. You know what I'm saying? But, bro, come on, bro. Drop something. You know what I'm saying? Drop something worth listening to, bro. Now, I know I'm about to get a whole lot of hate from the Drake stands, bro, but I listen to music, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm not biased towards music, bro. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm a music head, bro. A music lover. I listen to all types of music, bro. Put some heat out. Put some heat out. But he probably not even going to be able to do that because he can't work with nobody right now.
This is going to all come full circle and ruin whatever was left of the album that Rick Ross is calling White Man, because let's just break it down. What the result of this entire moment and series of new music snippets and Pinocchio fan film fantasies from Drake ended up being, well, is the biggest disaster of arguably Drake's entire career since the beef, other than the Karen paperwork. And why I say this is because for Drake, he has hit an entire new low, and something for him that is the absolute worst thing in his own eyes that could ever happen, which is that now with the hour-and-a-half waste of time nothing burger that the Ice Spice Man just gave to everyone, well, this thing was so boring and so many people fell asleep just even trying to look at what was going on here.
Side note, I think one thing that really separated people from really messing with Drake is when in that Kendrick Lamar beef, he told Kendrick Lamar, you still make music like you trying to free the slaves. Like, what, bruh? You know what I'm saying? What? Like, come on, bruh. Like, you gonna tell Kendrick Lamar, somebody he's an activist. He's an activist like J. Cole. You know what I'm saying? He makes music to empower black people from across the states, bro, everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You gonna tell him that he make music like he's still trying to free the slaves? Like, what is you talking about, gang? Nobody who genuinely rocks with the culture is gonna say something like that, bro. Nobody. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who it is, bro. If you genuinely rock with the culture, the black culture, you was not going to tell somebody they make music like they trying to free the slaves in a diss record. Like, people only want to hear turn up beats and bounce the buns beats and all that. Like, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? That man he literally made a song that people was marching and protesting to for the police brutality and the riots going on during that time. It was like a few years ago. Come on, bruh. You know what I'm saying? We gonna be all right? Like, what, bruh? You know what I'm saying? People was chanting that. Felt powerful, bruh. They felt powerful, bruh. Come on. I think that's the single point that separated him from a lot of people, bruh. A lot of people got turned off his music once that happened. It wasn't even, I feel like it wasn't really too much that Kendrick had to say. You know what I'm saying? It did play a part, but it wasn't too much of that. It was the fact of what Drake said. It was what Drake said, bro. You know what I'm saying? That stood out a lot to a lot of people, bro.
That the general public is not even putting in effort to make fun of Aubrey or even engaging with some of the things that they once did that at least gave him negative attention, which, hey, while it was bad, it was still attention all of the less. And so seriously now, with people walking away from Drake at a rate like we have never seen, well listen, for a guy who has not operated like a rapper or a musician but an influencer for so long, and well what that means is that any publicity and any attention has been good for what his weird twisted little games always wanted. Well, what is abundantly clear is that the demand for anything around Drake's name has never been lower, and really what is so obvious now based on the way that everybody just made fun of the new music that he played and then moved on, ultimately comes down to the fact that if Drake dropped another lead single or a new album, well, I guess the one thing in common that Iceman does have with Pinocchio is that both of them are made out of wood, and Drake's first week's sales really will go triple wood if he drops any sort of a project right now, or you know what, even a lead single. And listen, I'm 100%.
It really would not benefit him to drop anything right now. It's way too muddy in the waters for him right now, for him to drop anything. That does make sense. He should wait. He should wait to drop something. He should do like a PR run, right? To where he's cleaning his image up, he's maturing, he's, you know what I'm saying, he's drop a single where you're rapping about something other than these young girls breaking your heart, right? Rap about something with like some real true substance, right? Clean your image up. Once he do that, I feel like people would start to gravitate towards him more. You know what I'm saying? They'd start expecting. Remember when he dropped, what was that? 6 a.m. in Charlotte or something like that? It was something. It was like he was rapping. Like he was rap. People was excited to hear this Drake because he was rapping and he was talking about some real stuff in the song, bruh. Like he was really, you know what I'm saying, getting in his bag. People was excited, and then he dropped the throwaway album. Why he do that? Now that I think about it, why he do that? He did that and then dropped the throw. That's beyond the point. Anyway, bro, if he was to just clean up his image, bro, because his image is muddy right now, gang. I ain't gonna lie, it's muddy. Of course, you're gonna have the Drake fans that's rocking with him no matter what. Those are like true diehard fans. You can't even knock his true diehard fans for just rocking with him because they probably got some type of emotional connection to his music, gang. You know what I'm saying? Some of us got emotional connections and stuff that we just die hard about. You feel me? So you can't knock them. But a lot of the people that was just maybe casual listeners or maybe just listened to him at a party or was like a fan of his, but not like a diehard fan of his, they swaying the other way, gang, because his name is just getting dragged through the mud, bruh. He gonna have to pull a gunner. You know what I'm saying? He really gonna have to pull a gunner. He gonna have to get rid of the BBL body and really get in the gym. He's gonna have to maybe change his image. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's gonna have to pop out with a woman, not a young 20-something, 24, 23, 22-year-old girl. Pop out with like a 30-something, you know what I'm saying? 30-something woman. You know what I'm saying? Settle down. Change his whole image, bro. Become like a family man, bro. And really like, you know what I'm saying? Really get into that, bro. Lean into it, bro.
Serious about this, and if you don't think that this is why Drake didn't drop any new music other than a part 2 of a song from the last album in Iceman episode 3, which of course the running theme and goal of this was to keep dropping singles and to build on the universe and rollout of this album, well listen, Cupcake Karen knows he is in trouble, and it's all because right within this very moment, well, if he drops a major anything, his next flop will flop so bad that it will make the last song that flopped look like it's a success in comparison. And well, with all of this now brings us to the very thing that everybody needs to realize with Drake, whether you are a stan or a hater, which ultimately is that with this Iceman album, which has been filled with mid-moments, aimless filler, Pinocchio concepts and infatuations, and songs that keep copying and pasting the same trash song after the next. Well, listen, we are now at a point with where the response and reaction from Drake with all of this has shown us it has never been more clear that the Cupcake is going to be pushing back this album as far as he can, and to be honest, I would not be that surprised if this thing never ends up dropping, because with how poor everything has been doing, well, if Drake were to drop this record anytime soon, he is bound to release a project that will be the ultimate rock bottom of his career, and I'm not even talking about in terms of the...
Do y'all think if he was to drop an album at this moment right now, do you think that this will affect his legacy? Like, do you think, like, all right, so a lot of the music that he put out years prior to this, bangers, right? So they say, you know what I'm saying? So they say, album's been fire. He's been charting #1. He even broke Michael Jackson's record for like longest charting song at #1. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you think if he was to drop an album right now, would that tarnish his legacy a little bit? Like, would it be like, dang, like, all right, this is his fall off point. Every rapper has a fall off point. Nobody stays hot forever. So this would be like, all right, he's falling off now. Or do you think he's been falling off and this is just the tip of the spear at this point? You know what I'm saying? Let me know. Let me know. Because this is definitely interesting, bruh. Because to see like him fall off the way he's, I hate to say that he's falling off, because it's just, I feel like it's just a lot of stuff outside of music that's kind of add to it too. You know what I'm saying? But I do feel like people are definitely hunkering down on the fact that, you know, people are just kicking his back in, and they just want to kick his back in some more because he's just been on top for so long. You feel me? Of course, he done like some corny stuff. You know what I'm saying? He's done corny stuff. Like, we not going to just blow past that. But a lot of people are definitely, you know what I'm saying, dragging his name through the mud even more. You know what I'm saying? His name is already muddy, but they just adding more mud to it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, let me know if you feel like, you know, if he was to drop an album right now by the end of the year, by December, if he was to drop an album by the end of December, you think would it like, do you think it'll go good? You think it'll be as successful as his past albums, like his previous albums? Or would this be like the worst album he's ever made ever in life?
Quality, although it probably would be as well. But I'm just talking about in terms of the numbers, and as once again, Drake is an influencer artist who really only cares about numbers and attention and does not care about any sort of the merit of what he is doing. This would be the very worst thing he could ever possibly do. And really now, even compared to SSS for You, well, it does seem like with how lukewarm the reception has been to all of the new mid songs that he has been playing, well, for that record, while it didn't do great when it first dropped, at least people ended up tuning into it, I guess, if we compare it to how bad Drake is in a place of now, just because they were interested to see what Drake's compared to how bad.
This the album. Dang, that joint got 153 million streams. This is the throwaway album. Dang. More Life. Yeah, More Life. This is my favorite album by him so far. Views and More Life, bro. You know what I'm saying? Views and More Life.
Drake is in a place of now.
Crazy.
Just because they were interested to see what Drake sounded like and just to see what new music would really feel like after almost 2 years of not getting an album from Drake altogether. And with this, when you just sit there and realize that the already atrocious debut of an album that Drake really pushed as something that was second fiddle and was a flop in of itself, well, now it's turned into something that is clearly more viable than anything else he could do now with Iceman. And again, if you don't think that that part 2 didn't drop because Drake is trying to run back to this album era and still support it because it's giving him more than the Iceman is, well, then I don't know what to tell you. You're just living in a delusional world just like Drake is. But even for the Ice Spice Man right now, he is realizing how bad things are and how bad they will really do to his reputation if he continues to go down this rabbit hole as fast and as sporadic as he has been. And
hold on, I gotta see if he still works with 40, gang. Like, does he still work with 40? I gotta see this, bro, cause I'm producing. Yeah, so he still 40 still produces a lot of his music. But 40 has a specific sound to his songs though. Like the music that he make, the beats that he have is a very specific sound. So did he like change up his sound? Yeah, cook enough for Certified Lover Boy. He made Certified. He produced Certified Lover Boy. Wow. So 40 changed his sound. Cause remember Drake's sound and like his past albums. It was different. It was different. It was something we never heard, right? Like a lot of people was like, "Hey, 40, Drake and 40 is the new Snoop and Dre." You know what I'm saying? They the new Dre and Eminem. They the new Jay-Z and Pharrell, as far as like, collabing goes. But it's like 40 sound kind of, if 40 is still producing Drake's albums right now, 40 sounds similar to a lot of the sounds that's out right now. And that says a lot, bruh. That says a lot. Hold on. You know what I'm saying? We might have discovered something. You know what I'm saying? We might have discovered something. So now, understanding
all of the context of this, and then when you look at what's going on in the industry, we can nearly 100% confirm that Iceman is not going to drop anytime soon. And really, just to double down on this, all you have to do is look at the release calendar up and coming in the music industry for the next few weeks, which are showing that if Drake decides to drop Iceman, he is going to melt even more and truly have one of the worst flops, not just in his career, but of the entire year. As already in this upcoming month, there are two major records coming out, with Doja Cat's new record, which drops on September 26th, and then before that, and even bigger in terms of what the label is putting into it and what the industry is looking to get from it, well, Cardi B is dropping her long-awaited sophomore album on the 19th. And listen, I don't care how you feel about any of the people here, this record is gonna crush a Drake album so bad.
Hey, if Cardi B dropping an album, I'm listening to it, gang. I don't care what nobody says, bro. Judge me how you want to judge me. I don't care, bro. Cardi B drop an album, I'm listening to it, bro. Her first album was fire, bro. Fire. This is her sophomore album, bro. This is second album, gang. I swear I thought she put out more albums than that, bro. I swear I did. Wow, bro. This is about to be crazy, bro. I ain't gonna lie. This is not the time for Drake to drop. Drake should definitely wait. That's crazy to say, bruh. That's even crazy to say. That Drake shouldn't drop right now. Drake should wait to drop. That's crazy to say right now, gang. Wow, bruh. What the heck?
Based on everything we see, that he won't even be able to think about trying to go head-to-head with her, because with how much the label is putting into this project, and you could just look at all the physicals and all of the marketing they are doing, it is absolutely massive. And considering how long they have waited for Cardi B to drop, I mean, especially for Atlantic Records, which is where Cardi resides, this is massive. Listen, even if this album is terrible, they are going to make this thing be out of here, and Drake and his lame copy and paste records won't be able to do a single thing about it. And so with these two stars dropping, while this would already be enough to close Drake out of one of the biggest months left of the year, well, things are only going to get even worse. As for Drake, what is going to be his biggest nightmare and what he won't be able to compete with, even if he dropped his biggest album ever and really honestly his most successful? Well, is of course the inevitable, which is the drop coming from Taylor Swift on October 3rd. And with this, with the entire music industry, NFL, and so many other entities supporting this record and making it a big deal.
He can't drop this year. Drake can't drop this year, gang. It would not be beneficial for Drake to drop this year. He would have to push his album back into 2026. And that's crazy to say about an artist like Drake. Taylor Swift dropping in October. Cardi B dropping in September. Doja Cat dropping in September. Unless he's gonna do like December, like late December. But who's dropping? I don't think nobody dropping in late December or November. But he would definitely have to wait until like December or January. You know what I'm saying? Like December at the earliest. December at the earliest. Cause this is just it's not good. It's not gonna go good for him.
I mean, even beyond the streaming numbers that this record is going to shatter, with the millions, and yes, I said millions of vinyls and CDs that are ready to be in stores and ready to be shipped, this record is probably going to end up breaking more milestones in the industry, because this is what the industry sets up for Taylor Swift and these monumental releases which she is doing, which is bringing so much value and is generating so much for all of the labels and partners involved. Now listen, while there was a time where Drake did try to compete with the Taylor Swift album cycle when he was in good with his label, well, listen, this is not that time anymore, and this time around with the label being ready to have a first week for Taylor that will move literally millions of units, probably for at least 1 to 2 weeks. I mean, even if Drake drops after a month from Taylor, she is going to make him look like an underground rapper with the numbers that she would put up in comparison to him. And with this, well, listen, as the rest of the music industry shuts down in November and then is pretty much quiet for December, well, listen, when you gather everything going on, Ice Spice Man has literally nothing that he could do and has no way that he could not drop this album and not absolutely humiliate himself. And so
I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about that. I gotta disagree with you, gang. It's still Drake at the end of the day, but at the same time, he cannot drop around the same time as Cardi B and Taylor Swift right now. His name is too muddy. His image is tarnished right now. People is not messing with his music right now. It's not going to go good for him. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to go good for him. December at the earliest, 2026 at the latest. You know what I'm saying? 2026 at the latest. He do some PR. He clean up. You know what I'm saying? He get back into his bag, bro. He not in his bag right now. He's not. He's not in his bag right now. He's distracted. Let's face it. He's distracted right now. He's not in his bag. He got to get back into his bag, clean up some stuff, clean up his name, bro. Start doing right by your industry friends, gang. Excuse me. Repair these relationships that you made. Repair these relationships that you made in the industry over the past years, bruh. I don't know how you gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Because it seemed like they don't like you at all. Like they hate your guts, gang. That's what it's looking like. They hate your guts. They can't stand you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how you gonna do that. But you're Drake, right? You're Drake. December at the earliest, 2026 at the latest, he'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? He'll be fine. He just can't do nothing right now. He can't. So, yeah, but him saying, I feel like the dude that's doing this video really don't like Drake. Like he just can't stand Drake, bro. That's what it's looking like. You know what I'm saying? He just can't stand Drake. He's one of those people I was talking about that's like just adding more mud to his name. That's just dragging him through the dirt some more. Kicking his back in even some more, even though his back is already kicked in. He's one of them.
But really, that's just leaving him with no other choice now, which is just to cancel this thing and push it back as much as he possibly can. As really, when you really consider that the first album Drake already dropped this year, which people were more excited for, already did pretty poorly and put up all-time low numbers for his career. I mean, really, Drake is just out of options and has really exhausted every single thing that could have gotten him out of this horrible place. And honestly, for everybody who has been watching this fall off, I think I speak for all of us when I say that we are not surprised whatsoever. Because truly for Drake, after trying to stay outside for almost 500 days and make these quick microwaved comebacks over and over again and just keep overexposing yourself no matter what you do and never letting people miss your presence once, well, you are not paying the ultimate price for all of the ridiculous stuff and games that you have kept trying to keep up ever since the beef ended, because you know what is happening now, and you have to see that people are just tired of all the antics, and after what really is one of the worst album rollouts of all time in Iceman so far, well, listen, whatever hype Drake was trying to build up and whatever red button he was still acting like he was going to push, he has lost whatever he was holding on to in his career, and things have never looked possibly worse. And so with the Iceman album.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. That's going to be it for the video. But, yeah, man, Drake just got to, you know what I'm saying, clean up his image, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Get back in the lab. Lock in, bruh. You know what I'm saying? You having a bad season right now, bruh. You know what I'm saying? it's not a good season for you. You know what I'm saying? If we gonna put this into sports talk, you know what I'm saying? We gonna put this into basketball talk, right? This is not your MVP year, gang. You know what I'm saying? Your stats took a dip. It took a dip. You know what I'm saying? It took a dip. Your team barely making it into the playoffs right now, bro. You know what I'm saying? You 8th seed, gang.